here at the moment, but I'm just behind me. It doesn't look too bad. This part usually stays pretty nice. It's the I'm just looking out my window right now, and there is a female bowerbird outside my window, and she's very, very pretty. I haven't seen one in our garden before because we've lived here now for nearly 2 years, and I see them sometimes across the road, but I've never seen one here in the garden, so that's a bit nice. She's very pretty. So, how is everyone? How's your weekend been? It's been a nice quiet weekend here, fairly much. Not too much happening, which has been good. I'm going to play around with some retiring stuff tonight, and I'm happy to work with you guys. I've got a vague idea of what I'm doing. This is my normal style though. I like to actually come in here knowing what set I'm going to use, and then I let you guys make some suggestions and we take it from there. So it's kind of make it up as we go along, and that's how I like to work. So I always get a surprise. I always end up with something that I didn't expect as well. So we'll all get surprised together. How is everyone? I'm just going to double check that I'm able to see comments. Let me just quickly go into where I'm meant to be for that. And it's on my channel. So let's have a little look. There I am. I'm live. And there the comments are. Fantastic. Hey Helen, nice to see you. And Kay, hi. I'm hoping, it's getting closer to Christmas, and I've noticed I think everyone's so busy at the moment that less people are watching live right now and more people are watching the replays. So I think that's pretty normal for this time of year. And then between Christmas and New Year, don't worry, I don't plan to disappear completely. I'm going to do a few things during that time. I'm going to schedule some stuff for that time so that I can have a little bit of time off too. But you'll still see me here. So if you're at home not doing a lot between Christmas and New Year, don't worry, you'll be able to watch my lives or my scheduled posts. So I'll have some stuff for you. All right. Hey there, Amanda. Hi from Perth. So you guys are 3 hours behind, aren't you? So it's only 4:35, or is it 7:35 here on the East Coast? All right. So let me get this camera turned around and let's have a look at some stuff. We're working from the retiring mini catalogue tonight, and then we'll talk about a few other bits and pieces as well. Here we go. All right, you should be able to see my little catalogue down there. Trying to turn it around and not turn the camera off at the same time. Yeah, I thought so. I think I've seen you on these lives before, haven't I, Amanda? So, pretty sure I have. But either way, welcome. And everybody, welcome. So let me get this straightened up. I like it to look straight on the screen if I possibly can get it to look straight on the screen. All right, so the mini catalogue we've only got like 3 weeks left of this catalogue. In fact, less than. Right about 3 weeks, because it actually goes through, I keep thinking it goes through to the end of the year, but it actually goes through to the 3rd of January. So for anyone who's got a few things they still need out of here, and there's some really, really good bargains, because there is some items that they have that they need to get rid of out of the warehouse have been marked down. The items that are not marked down are probably going to sell out even if they don't mark them down. So, they've basically discounted some items and not others. So then that's good business sense. Makes sense to do that, right? So it's been a good catalogue. There's some beautiful things in here. I actually really love the suite they showed on the front. This is the painted Christmas suite. Some of that is staying, okay? It's going to be continuing on, or carrying over, as we call it. But what I want to play with tonight is this suite, most of which is going, okay? So I've got a little list here already up. So things that are retiring, the matte dot, I'm a bit sad the matte dots are retiring. These are beautiful. Love, love, love them. The pool party ribbon is also going. The stamp set and the dies are both going. And the dies are marked down 50% off. So instead of $54, those are marked down to $27. And the stamp set is 40% off, so that's marked down to $22.80. So you can still buy the bundle, but that's not discounted. So don't buy the bundle, buy them separate. If you want these, get them separate, because that's a really good deal. Okay, 40% off those and 50% off those. Much, much better than getting the bundle. So don't buy the bundle because that's not discounted. Kind of crazy, right? buy them separate. And the felt is also retiring. That's marked down, only 10% off that one. That's down to $14.17. Is there anything else on here? Oh, the paper. The paper is also being retired, and that is not marked down. That's $20 for the paper, which tells me that they may not have a lot of that. So it doesn't actually say at the moment, right now as I'm looking, so today is the 12th of December, it's not showing, nothing is showing as low inventory at the moment. So yeah, anyway, let's have a play. I'm going to bring the paper out because I've got a half-used pack of paper here, and I figured, well, hey, I might as well use up some of this. So it's very, very cute. If you're someone who likes pets, there's some really good pet stuff on here. You've got your cats and little goldfish. And I don't know if you noticed, but in the goldfish bowl, there's a Christmas tree, a little present under the tree there. I think it's a present. Hard to see, but there's a goldfish in there. And then also your little corgi who's wearing a cute little sweater, or jumper as we prefer to say here in Australia. And this paper's the one I've used the most of, the pool party kind of crosshatch design, and on the other side is some Christmas lights. And I don't know if you can see, but the dies also cut out some of the images in the paper, so that makes it super useful if you have both together. So those are cool. You can see I've been chopping those up. There's stars on the back of that one. Then this is cherry cobbler. Goes really, really nicely with the cherry cobbler and gold ribbon. So even though that's not the ribbon that's in this is the pool party ribbon, but I've been using it with this one because it looks really, really nice with this. Doesn't that look good? So that's from a different suite altogether. This ribbon is retiring, I believe. Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure it is. And it's in the Painted Christmas suite, I believe, which is up here. There it is. So this is on page 17, and on my list, pretty sure it's going. Let me double check. Yes, the cherry cobbler ribbon is the only item on this page that's actually retiring. So that's going. And I'm a bit sad because how beautiful is it? Look how nice that is. It ties really nice bows too. So let me tie one for you. It just looks lovely. So it's fun playing with these things while I can. So I'm going to show you some fun things you can do with this stuff tonight. But, and, you know, I never actually got the stripy pool party ribbon. I kind of wish I did because I really liked it. But now it's retiring. I'm not going to get it. Actually, I should double check my stash. I don't think I have it. But I've been using this ribbon, this cherry cobbler and gold, instead with this suite. So I've got my ribbon scissors here. Let me chop that off. Nice, nice, nice ribbon. And it ties nice bows, as you can see. Doesn't it look nice? So I'm going to pop that right there next to my camera stand so I don't forget where it is later. And let's move that out of the way. A bit more of the paper to show you. Some more. We've got cats with antlers, and dogs with wreaths, and budgies. How cute are the little budgies with little Christmas mail? And then some pretty kind of fair old design on the back. And then we've got dogs and kitties and mice and guinea pigs or hamsters, depending on where you live in the world, in stockings. And then more little kind of sewing stitching on the back there. So you can see I've got, that's that same one again. So really, really nice. Very kind of Christmas themed, but not your traditional red and green. It's kind of dark red, which is the cherry cobbler, and there is green, but it's not the bright red and the bright green that we're kind of used to for Christmas. So I like a little bit of an alternative Christmas, don't you? So let's come back to my screen. Oh, that's all right, Margaret. You don't ever have to worry about being late. That's, you know, I'm here, and I'm going to be here anyway, okay? If you're not able to make it, you just watch the replay. It's absolutely fine. It's not a problem. You never noticed the fish bowl? Yeah, it's got a cute little Christmas tree in it. It's super, super cute. Hey, Denise, how are you? And hey, Michelle. Nice to see everybody. All right. So let me get out. Here's the stocking set. This is the set. Now I have to confess, I think some of you can probably guess why I got this set. Well, there's two reasons why I got the set. First one, it was given to me. So I didn't have to purchase this set. This was actually in my package of gifts from the Maui incentive trip that we weren't able to take this year, but it was one of the gifts that we got. So that helped to soften the blow ever so slightly from not being able to attend the trip. It was nice to get this. So this was in my package. So I got it. Actually, no, hang on. The paper was, but what's the stamp set? Either way, I would have bought it because of the kitty cat. And I think you all know this. I really, really wanted the kitten because he's so cute, and you can put him in any of the stockings, or you can put a little hat on him, and he's just really super sweet. So that's really cute. Now there's also a die set. Just grabbing it. It's a larger die set, as in it's a big package. Just grabbing it. And it's just called Stockings dice. See how it's a wider one, like a 6-inch wide one, as opposed to a thinner one, which is a smaller die set. So this is a bigger die set, and it has some really great dies in it. Like I said, oh, there's one loose there. Like I said, it has these little stockings that cut out the stockings in the paper. Makes it really easy. I love it when dies match paper or punches match paper. Anybody else get excited about that? That just makes me so happy when that happens. Now you can see these are a little bigger than what they show on the cover. So there's the kitten. See how he's a bit bigger. All right. And then so the hat is a bit bigger as well. I'm going to stick him on because, of course, I'm going to have to use a kitty cat because, you know, I just have to. So I'm going to pop him on a block. I'm just using block B. It doesn't need to be very big. And then will we do maybe, I mean, I can actually stamp. Well, let's just see. Now, there's also this piece here, which is a great shape for a tag. Okay, you could use this, you could put a hole at the top here and tie a ribbon through and make a tag with it. Perfect for that. It also looks really good as a banner on a card. So that's what I want to use it for tonight. I'm going to use it as a banner. And I have got a piece of basic white thick cardstock, and I've already cut that piece of cardstock in half, and now I'm just going to fold it in half again and use this. So like I said, I've got a vague idea of what I'm doing tonight. Now, one of the colours in the paper is Crumb Cake, and Crumb Cake is a really great base colour. I think there is something wonderful about using neutrals. This is the one I actually use. For those of you watching my Facebook Live on Friday night, this is the same piece of paper I cut off that night. So yes, if it's looking familiar, that's why. I quite often use the leftovers on Sunday night. But don't think that makes them second class, because leftovers are great when it comes to crafting. All right, so let's have a little look at what we've got here. So this is the piece here. I'm thinking I'm going to end up with this on here. And I'm also thinking I'm going to add some... I did a card a while ago with the puppy, with the golden retriever, because I really love golden retrievers. If I ever get a dog, that's probably what we would get. Which way will I go? I'll go this way. Okay. So for anyone who's wondering how wide this is, it's 2.5 inches or almost 6.3 or nearly 6.5 centimeters. And I'm making it a little bit less long than my piece of crumb cake. So this is 13.8 long. Or if you're wondering how much that is, that's about 5 and not quite 5.5, about 5 3/8, thereabouts. So I'm going to pop this on here. Actually, I'm going to go this side. So let's pop this straight on. Hey there, Deb. How you going? You've used the doggy more than the cat. Yes, I'm sure you have, Denise. It really comes down to what animals we live our lives with, right? I think so anyway. Now I'm deciding what other color I want to have over here. I could go with I mean, it goes quite nicely, the cherry cobbler and the white stitching, but I think I want a bit more contrast. So I'm deciding, I mean, we could do some green. That's a little bit traditional. I'm not sure about that. We've got stars. I think I prefer the stars. They're on a very dark green background, like Evening Evergreen. That's nice. That could be good. Or we could also do the kitty cats and the little tiny. So what do you think, guys? Shall we do little animals in stockings for our, this is going to be about just over an inch wide, this piece. Or will we go with stars on evergreen? The first person to answer is the one I'm going to pick. So whoever says stars says Kay. All right, stars it is. You're the first one, Kay, so we're going with that. All right, so I'm going to make this, don't know if an inch is going to be enough, so let me just go slightly bigger than an inch. And then if that's too big, I can always cut it down, but you can't go the other way, right? So this is also going to be 13.8. Yeah, that's about right. Look at that. Perfect. All right, so let me put some seal on the back of this. So when I'm doing these live videos, like I said, just depends. I had somebody pop in here a little while ago, and and I wasn't quite, and because of that, I wasn't quite ready. It wasn't her fault. I should have got ready earlier, but I didn't. And I'm going to use this shape. Now, the other shape I could also use, I could use a tag. I've got some tags that I'd made previously that left over from another project. So, like, for example, I could do a tag here. But I think I will go with this shape. And I'm just going to bring in my cut and emboss machine. But I'm using the mini one because the little guy is best for Facebook Lives because it's little and light. And then we're going to put number 1, number 2, and then we put our piece of paper on, and then we put our die on. So let me grab my paper. I want to use basic white thin. I don't want to use the thick stuff. So I'm literally making this up as I go along. And I've just picked up a whole bunch of white and it's all thick. Right, I'm having inspiration. This is a piece of shimmery white, but I need for it to go through the machine. It can't be more than 3.5 inches or 9 centimeters or thereabouts. So I need to cut it down slightly so it will fit through. See, it's only quite narrow here. So let's do that. Pop that on. Now, shimmery white is good for a whole bunch of reasons. It handles water. If you're going to be watercoloring on it, we might. I haven't decided yet. If you're going to be watercoloring on it, then it handles water better than traditional basic white. Okay, so Whisper White or Basic White cardstock has been out of stock here in Australia for a little while, and that's why I'm struggling a little bit with my Whisper White because I have hardly any left. I'm actually out of all my sheets, and I've been cutting up. I've got scraps and bits and pieces like that I've been using, but I'm actually out of the pack. So I'm using other ones, shimmery white. You can see the difference. Maybe you can. Can you see the difference in colour? Between this is Whisper White Basic White, this is what we have now, and this is shimmery white. And can you see, when you look at this, it looks like white, but it is actually a bit different. Can you see it? You're making next year's Christmas cards? Excuse me, Kay? What's all that about? Everyone's like, I can't type fast enough. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry. All right, so this is the one I'm using. And I'm deciding whether I go straight from the top or actually I think I'll bring it down a little bit. I think that'll look better. What do you think? Do we like this? All right. Now, one of the dies that is in this set, I really, really like it, which is, let me find it. Actually, is it in this set? You know what? Now I've said that, it's not in this set. It's in a different set. And that is, it's in the seasonal labels dies, and it's like a long skinny little slit that you can thread a ribbon through. That's really good. Or you could use any hole punch, or you know, that you can put a hole in here if you want to do a ribbon at the top, which I do. So the other thing I could do, because I've already tied it, is I could also just pop my ribbon on here at the top. So we might go with that. Let's do that. And then I've got a few different things. What shall we put on our tag, guys? I'm thinking I might actually put the sentiment on the tag. I could put the sentiment separate. This is a cute little thing here. And you can see, like, we've got shapes here, like the little present cuts out this little present. It's the right size, I promise you. But this one here makes a nice tag and also fits some of the sentiments. And I'm thinking maybe I do that. Maybe I bring that in and have that after, or I could stamp straight on the tag. But maybe I'll do, we'll see. So the one I've used the most is the Very Merry. I found that really useful. And that's here. You can see I've used it quite a bit. It's all stained. It's red. Some of the others I haven't used as much. So we've got Sending Lots of Love, Santa Paws is Coming to Town, Christmas Greetings, Very Merry for You, Peace, Joy and Kisses, To and From, and a whole bunch of kisses, which is very cute. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm thinking I'm going to use this, and I'm going to stamp my little pussycat, and I'm actually going to cut one of my stockings out of the paper. So let's do this. Are we going, now this is where we get to decide if we're going to use watercolors, or if we're going to use blends. We've got a few choices, actually. I'm just looking. Oh dear. Hi Cherie, nice to see you. So if it's going to be blends we're using, then I need to use Memento. But if we're going to use watercolors, then we're going to use Stays On. All right, so let's go Stays On. No one's actually suggested. So I'm going to go watercolors tonight, just for fun. I do tend to favour watercolors when it comes to colouring, although the blends are great. It just depends on what mood I'm in, really. Whoops, I should be using a matte under this, but never mind, I didn't. And it'll be okay. How cute is he? Isn't he gorgeous? So, what colour shall I do him? I think maybe Cinnamon Cider might be a good colour for a little ginger pussycat. What do you think? So let me grab, this is my, I've still got some blue left on this from another project. So I'm just going to run this off and run the water through until it comes clear. Then I'm going to open this up. I'm going to grab a block and I'm going to ink it up. Now, I don't want this to be too dark. I don't want him to be too dark. And if I was to go straight in, it's going to be quite dark. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze some water through and mix that in so it dilutes it right down. And then run it off on my paper a little bit so he's a bit lighter. And I'm going to sort of leave around his nose kind of white. We're going to leave that a bit because for those of you who know Crumpet, he has white around his mouth. Not on his paws though, so we'll have to give him ginger paws. All right, so let me get this clean using my, there we go, all cleaned up. Now, because I used, I just thought what I should have done was come back in and given him some stripes. I wonder if I can still do that. Kind of, a little bit. All right, so he's ready to cut out, which I think is kind of cute. Now, let me find a stocking that I want to cut. What colour stocking will we put him in? These are really, really fun. I love, it's on the back of the stars one has the stockings on the back. So I think I'll put him in a larger stocking or a medium-sized stocking. Depends. I've got one larger one here, but I get more colour choices with the medium size. And I've got a little one here. The yellow is kind of cute. What colour stocking shall we do? We've only got a few that are, because they're in pieces. So I've got a green one here, and I've got, oh, there's the green one there. Deciding. Hi, Tina. Nice to see you. I think the yellow is too similar to Crumpet's colour, so I'm not going to go with the yellow, even though I like it. But I think either this one or this one. What do you guys think? Huh. All right. All right, I'm going to go with this one here. So in order for this to go through the machine, I'm going to cut this out because obviously this piece of paper is too wide. So this way I can put it through the machine easily. The other thing is I did do one, like I said, with the Golden Retriever, and I cut that one out by hand. It wasn't that hard to do, but if you want to do them quickly, obviously the little machine is your friend. Here we go. Number 1. Number 2. Let's pop him down. Whoops, wrong one. This one. And number 3. Oh, sorry. The second number 2, I should say. Something I've learned about the mini machine, if your plates, these plates get very bent, I don't know if you can see mine, but they're quite bent. It can be harder for them to go through, and if that happens, just turn them over, okay? Because if you turn them over and, you know, change the order of them up and put the bottom one on the top and so forth, it will go through. You've just got to mess with it a little bit. Right, and then I also want the little pussycat one. Do that again. It's a lot easier, and it cuts out the whiskers too, and it's a lot easier than trying to navigate those by yourself, let me tell you. Okay, the question is, anyone done a comparison as to how the mini and the big Stampin' Emboss machine cuts compare? What do you mean, Cherie? Like, as far as, do they both cut well, or are you talking about how easy it is to use, or what? Can you be a little more specific so I can answer your question? All right, so there's my little pussycat. He's such a cute little die. See how that's cute? All right, so now we have our stocking, and see the little crumpet goes over the top. Isn't that cute? Oh my goodness, that's so cute. But we need something going on behind it. It's not enough in its own right. So I'm thinking I've got a couple of choices. I can do a little bit of a watercolor wash behind him, or I could get a blending brush and do just some color coming, like some blended color coming out from behind. So we can go down the blending brush track, or we can go down the watercolor track. Either way, they're both going to look good. And I wonder if anyone has a preference. First person? Tina, does that mean you just woke up? Because it would be quite early over there, wouldn't it? These are really fun. Very, very fun. And if you have a guinea pig, I mean, we don't have many sets with guinea pigs in them, but how cute are those? Let me get this clean. back in. Okay, so Jenny, I think you're the first one. So yeah, I agree with Margaret. I use them for different things, Cherie. So for my workhorse is the big one, okay? Because I'm a demonstrator and I do this as my business, and I'm doing a lot of cutting all the time. Like if I'm doing a class, I have to do multiple cuts, lots and lots. And so for that, I always use my big one, okay? However, if I'm going to a workshop, I'm going to carry the small one because it's heaps lighter to carry. And I just make sure that any big dies that are not going to fit through the little one, I do any of that cutting in advance, okay? The small stuff, it's very handy. It's great for my Facebook Lives and YouTube Lives because it's so light and easy for me to put on the desk. So they're a really different use, okay? It really depends on how you're going to use them, but they both cut well, okay? And there are dies and embossing folders that fit through the small one. For example, let me quickly show you in our big catalogue here, the annual catalogue. So this one runs until April next year. At the back, if a die will fit through the mini, they all fit through. It actually says here, mini, okay? So it's telling me that all the dies in that set are going to fit through the mini machine. There's one there. That one doesn't have it because these dies, some of them are too big to go through the mini. All right, so you can see there's a little mini symbol on each one that will go through the mini machine. And as you can see, there's quite a number that will go through. All right, so all of these will go through except for this one because this die is too big, and the stars and the Stitch with Whimsy. But all the other dies on this page will go through. Okay, so it's really handy. You can see that little symbol on all of them there. So that's a really useful thing when you're shopping for your dies. You can see at a glance what's going to fit through and what isn't. All right. Oh, okay. The depth of the embossing, I haven't noticed a huge amount of difference, to be honest. But, of course, the average embossing folder, which is wider, is not going to go through your mini machine. You need to use one that's specifically... So, for example, this is one. This is actually a retired one. This wrapped in texture from the previous catalogue. This one, there's actually... I think there's two. There's two dies. Sorry, two embossing folders, those two designs that are in there. And these both are measured to go through your machine. So that's not, it's almost exactly the right measurement for the mini machine. Whereas your normal embossing folder is not going to go through. So if you have, yeah, I personally think if you haven't got a machine at all, the little ones are great. It's a great gateway drug. It's a great introduction to cutting embossing, and for half the price, so it's a much smaller cost. And for that reason, it can be a great way to get started. But if you think that you're going to want to use bigger ones and it's not going to be enough for you, you may decide that you want to go the whole hog and get the bigger one to start with, which is literally double the price of the other. So one is $109 and the other is $104.50, I believe. That's correct. Let me double check that. I should know that off by heart. Okay, so the big machine is 104. The mini machine is 104, and the big machine is 209. I beg your pardon. Gosh, I need to wash my mouth out. 209 for the big one, 104 for the little one. So yeah, almost exactly the price, half the price. That's how that works. Now, everything in here, these dies all fit through the mini machine, but a lot of them have the bigger shapes and they don't. All right, let me go back because I didn't... you said water, Jenny. Are you the first person or the only person to comment on that? Okay, so water it is. And because we're using shimmery white, it's going to handle the water quite well. So I'm just going to grab... This is the one I used before for the cinnamon cider. And I'm going to get rid of all of that. And I'm thinking because of the yellow in the stars, I'm actually thinking of having yellow behind this. I think that might look nice. What do you think? Do you think that will work? And if it doesn't, I guess we turn it over. Let's see. I'm going to give it a squeeze. So this is another way. So you can do two ways. You can either squeeze it and get some on the lid and then use that as a palette, or you can do like what I did before with the block, put the block in, and then pick it up from the block. They're the two ways that I use my inks as watercolors. All right, so I'm saturating, making sure I'm squeezing a good bit of water through. I'm going to pull this over, and I'm going to just give it a wash. Won't take long to dry. We can give it a bit of a help with a heat tool, which is right here. So I just want to, dry this off before I stick anything on top. Dry enough to work with. All right, now I'm going to pull out one of my favorite all-time tools that I will never part with. Even though it's retired. So, has anyone got any retired items that they just cannot part with, that you love? Right. This is a thing called a crocodile. We don't sell these anymore, but I cannot part with mine. It's just too valuable to me. It's got a big hole on this side, a small hole on that side. If I wanted a hole, I would come in here and I would pop this in, and then I could tie my ribbon through. Now, in this case, I don't need to do that. But if you wanted to tie ribbon, that's what I would do. I'd put a hole at the top and that you can go through. We do have, for anyone who has it, we do have this fabulous punch, which is one of my favorite punches. If you guys know, I'm all about tools. I think tools are where you get the most value from Stampin' Up, because I think Stampin' Up makes fantastic tools. Really, really good tools. This one does this little sort of egg-shaped, little oval-shaped hole, and that is quite, and there's a little guide here so you can put it right in the middle, do that, and then we have a hole at the top. Don't need to do it because I've already tied my bow, and I'm just going to stick my bow on like this. But this one also does corner rounders, and it does a decorative corner as well. So this is a really great little tool. All the tools I've ever had, whether it be the cut and emboss machine, whether it be, blending brushes, or all of these things, to me, are such good value, and they make very, very good tools. So let's have a little look and see how this is looking. I'm wondering if I really should have gone a little bit lower with my colour. Maybe I should have. You know what I should have? I should have gone a little bit lower. I wonder if I can add it without adding too much wet. Quickly dry that off. You use an electric die cutting machine, Donna? Yeah, some people do. I know when we were waiting for them to, I put a bit of a mark on that, but that's okay. I actually really love it when I have, I don't know if you can see this, but see how there's like color running into color? I love that. That's my jam. Love, love, love that. All right, so now I have this. Okay, he's looking cute. Really, really cute. All right, I'm going to pop this on dimensionals because I'm a dimensional girl, and I'm just going to grab my dimensionals from under here. There's always new stuff to buy, Cherie. That's just how it is. We've got beautiful new stuff. Has everyone seen the new catalogue coming? Or everyone's seen that there is a new catalogue coming in January. Here's the cover. I'm not allowed to show you inside yet, but this is the cover, okay? If you're in Australia and you don't have one of these coming, please send me a message and I'll get one in the post to you. Okay, so that's how that works. All right, I'm going to pop this here. I'm wondering if I've gone low enough. Probably should have stuck the ribbon on first so I could work out how low I needed to put my... It's okay. But you know what? Now I've done this, I'm going to pull this off and lower it ever so slightly because it's just a little bit too tall, a little bit too high. That's better. Yep. All right, now he needs a dimensional behind him as well, of course. And we're going to have his little paws going over the top of the stocking. Just like that. And then this little guy's going to get glue dotted up the top here. So let's pop this on. For anyone who doesn't know, you probably do know this, but the best way, easiest way to use glue dots, grab whatever it is you're trying to stick it onto the glue dot and give it a good hard press with your thumb so it's actually stuck to the roll, and then gently take it off so that the glue dot comes to, and then it's ready to use. Don't try and take the glue dots off unless you're trying to position the glue dots under something, in which case then I usually remove them with my with the end of my bone folder, take them off like that, and then pop them in underneath something. So they're the two ways that I use glue dots, but if I'm sticking on something like this, that's the easiest way to do it. Right. So now we have this cute, cute, cute little guy. Let's throw some dimensionals behind there, because you can never have enough, right? Never have enough dimensionals, in my opinion. It's a me thing. I do have a war with the backs of the dimensionals, which turn up absolutely everywhere I find them, you know, on my elbow, in my bra, everywhere you can think of, I find those things. Anyone else? All right. Hi, Curly Top. Hello. Is that the name you prefer to be known as? Oh. All right. So now I get to decide where do I want to put my sentiment and what am I going to do with that. I do have, pull this back in for a second. Pop this here. I've got in the dies here, we've got this little guy. See this one here? And I think that's quite a nice size. So what's going to fit on that in our set? And what color will we use? Will we use Cherry Cobbler or will we use Evening Evergreen? I would like a dark color, I think, for my sentiment. Do I want Very Merry or do I want something small? For You or Very Merry? They're the two I'm thinking between. So first person to tell me which one I should use, Very Merry or For You, is the one I'm going to go with. Does anyone have an opinion on that? Not that it really matters, I guess. Very Merry. Okay, Tina. Oh no, Judy, you were first. Judy, you said For You. So that's the one we're going to use because you're first in. Sorry about that. Sorry, Tina. Yeah, a lot of things are not available, and that is unfortunately beyond anybody's control. It's so hard. Why can I not find the For You? It's probably looking at me. I just can't see it. Just can't see it. Oh, because it's in here. I've already got it stuck inside. That's why. Because I've used this one before. So they're both nice. I'm thinking maybe Evening Evergreen. So let's go with that. And I think this is going to be enough on here. Yeah, it is. This just fits. So there's my For You. And I'm going to put that through my machine. Now I'm putting it a little bit towards one end so I can add some bling on the other end, which I think would be nice. So let's pop that through. Anyone got any big plans this week? Whoops. My plans, I have Christmas cards going out. And I mean, I make Christmas cards all year long, so I have plenty of cards, but but sitting down to write on them, that's the time is where I fall down. I need to get more of that. And then I'm sending out some team gifts for my my direct team members. I'm thinking maybe down the bottom here, and I'm thinking we need some bling. We always need bling, right? So it's just a case of what kind of bling. I'm deciding. Gold is always good, so that's tempting. But I've got a few here. Now these wonderful gems, these are being retired. These are not going to be around anymore. So, but I think they look rather nice. I might put, yeah, you know what? I'm going to use those. So the wonderful gems are great. Oh, and there's also the jewels. These are not retiring. These are in the annual catalogue. But you've got Evening Evergreen in there. So that would look really nice too. Ooh, which one? Shall we go the Evening Evergreen or the Wonderful Gems? The Wonderful Gems, as you can see, half of them are red, and I've used up all the red ones, and the other half of these kind of, can you see? They're clear with like little gold sparkly bits in them. They're very, very pretty. And then these guys are in the in colours. So you've got Polished Pink, Pale Papaya, Evening Evergreen, Fresh Freesia, and soft succulent. They're these ones. So who has a preference? Do we have a preference for these? Or they go eeny, meeny, miny, mo? All right. If no one's going to tell me, oh, Evening Evergreen. Denise, you picked. All right. Let's go. Let's do that. I'm going to pop that right there because it's pretty. I'm deciding, I think I'll go down here. And I was going to pop this on dimensionals, but I'm not going to. I'm going to make it go flat. And we'll just use a bit of seal there. Just like that. And of course, we need to put this on our piece of basic white card that we folded before, which is right here. Did anyone see the silly thing? So those of you who are watching me on Friday night will see the silly thing, would have seen the silly thing I did. I still can't believe I did it. I was making cards to send out with some gifts, and I was making lots of them, and I got myself a bit confused, and I accidentally made a card on the back of another card, and I've never done that before. It's this one. Look, I'll show it to you. See, this is the card I made. So those of you who saw this on Friday night and laughed at my expense, you can do it again. I still can't believe I did it. There we go. We have a finished card with our Sweet Little Stockings. The yellow, I think, makes it pop a little, so I quite like that. And I like the fact that, you know, you got the wash look behind. I think that was a good choice. Thanks for that. So this is what I did. See my card? This is a new product. So this is called Flowing Flowers. Beautiful, beautiful stamp. And there's, I don't know if you can see the beautiful gold in this lovely specialty paper. This is some doilies that are coming that come in grey, Misty Moon. This is basic grey. Then there's Misty Moonlight and also cinnamon cider. Cinnamon cider, yep. And then I was making this card and thought it was lovely, and then realised I'd made it on the back of another card. So now I've got, look, how silly. Who would do that, right? So what I need to do now is cut it and remount it onto another card because I don't want to have to make them all over again. Can't believe I did that. Oh, well. Nobody's perfect all the time, right? One of the crowd. Oh, all the silly things. Upside down, back to front. Absolutely. You are so correct. Yeah, it's story of my life. And I'd had one of those days that day, and I think, you know, I just let it got to me, obviously. So there we go. I've had a bit of fun. Actually, I'm thinking, you know what would look nice? I feel like it's missing something, and I think I know what it is. I think it needs, think it needs some little, so there's some light green, the old olive here, and I'm thinking, I'm going into my scrap drawer, and I've got a piece of old olive here, and I've got my little leaf here. So let's add this. I just feel like it's missing something. Now, after I finish my card tonight, I am going to go sit down with my husband. He's been working night shift for a whole bunch of days, and so he's actually home tonight, which is really nice. And we're going to go watch something on the telly. Actually, I think we've got a couple of shows. We don't actually watch much free-to-air TV. We usually stream stuff because he's very particular about what he likes to watch, and he hates ads, so we tend to do that. So I think at the moment we're watching the Wheel of Time set because he read those books, and so where are we? Here we go. I need to push this out with my little tool. Here we go. If you don't have one of these, this is a take your pick tool, and this is a separate attachment that you can buy for it, which is a die brush. Okay, and that pushes all your little bits and pieces out of your dies, and you just take off the putty end and screw this on, and it's fantastic. And I tend to leave this one on because I use it all the time. And then the other end has the piercing tool that you can poke stuff out, but it also has a flat tool so you can lift stuff up, and it's just fantastic. I use my take your pick tool so often. It's a great tool. If you don't have one of those, definitely worth having. So what's coming up? Like I said, I'm going to have stuff for you guys between Christmas and New Year, even if I pre-schedule it. If I'm not actually around, that's what I'll be doing. And then in the new year, this mini catalogue I've been showing you tonight, this one ends on the 3rd of January, and then the 4th of January is when the new one, this starts on the 4th, okay? And there's also a new celebration, which means that you'll be getting gifts for every $90 you spend here in Australia. All right, so I'm thinking maybe 3 leaves. Oh, look, a friend, a dimensional back. It is, look, it's a very sweet set. And I think if you're someone who loves your pets, it's a really great set to have for that. Because you can do some fun things with them. There we go. Just going to push the middle bits out of that. Right. Let's put that back in with the dies. And this one back as well. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. That came out of nowhere. All right, so these are going to go here. My son is asking me, have I fed the cats? No, I've been making a video since 7:30, so no, I haven't fed the cats, which means somebody else is going to have to do that tonight. At least they're asking. I'd say the cats are probably asking. The cats let us know if they haven't been fed. All right, so I'm going to pop. See, this just gives it something. Do you agree? I think it looks better. It's a cute little branch too. And last one on a glue dot. Now, does anyone have any questions for me before I take off tonight? There we go. I'm going to call that a finished card. I really like it. Have I finished my forward planning yet? No, Cherie, I haven't. Not even close. I've actually got a course I'm doing next week to learn how to do some new things, and that's part of that course. And my planning, yeah, is going to take. So I'm probably, the planning involves a few things. First of all, I've already scheduled my classes for the beginning of the year. I'm actually going back to face-to-face classes in January. I'm doing a couple of launches of the new catalogue. February, I have my first technique class for the year. But the planning is also other things. So it's planning the way, you know, how much in my business I'm doing of things like this, like Facebook Lives, YouTube Lives, and other activities, you know, how many times a week I want to do these things and whether or not I'm happy with the way it's going. So I need to look and see. One of the things I'm thinking of doing in the new year, and this is part of my planning, is using some software to actually allow me to go to YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So that means people will be able to comment from both places and I'll be able to see all the comments together. So that's something I'm planning to do. So good night, Judy. Yep, see you Friday. Thank you so much. Don't forget, everyone, that this week we still have things like this that are on sale, and you are, of course, welcome to shop with me if you're in Australia and you don't have a demonstrator already. So you can either reach out to me. I'll put all my details in the description. I'll put the shopping link there if you'd like to make a purchase. Otherwise, you know, join my Facebook group, because that's where we hang out and do all kinds of stuff. So I do post to that every day wherever I possibly can. So I hope you like my little card tonight. I think it's kind of cute. Some nights I do 2 cards, but tonight just the 1, and then I'm going to go have some family time. So I hope you've all enjoyed that. I hope you've had a great weekend, and I hope you've had fantastic. You're happy with the lives? Oh, good. I'm glad you're happy. See, that makes me happy to know that you guys are happy. So, alrighty. Okay. See you later in the week, and I'll be back with more. See you soon, guys. Bye-bye.